In the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've had a lot of conversations with people about working with us at Pineview, and it's been an interesting journey. We've needed to hire a delivery driver, painter, a full-time sales rep for customers sales and service, and I need to hire a spray foam installer. So 4 different people, and it feels like I need to hire 4 of those all at the same time, so we can take the next big leap to go from $3.5 to $4 million in revenue per year to 5 to 6. Hi friends. If you're new to this channel, my name is Simon and I document my business journey. My brother and I co-own a company. We do several $1 million in revenue per year, and we're a small team of about 12 people. In order to get the buildings delivered that we have on order, we need to get that additional driver. And in order for us to be able to produce those buildings fast enough, we need to get them painted, because right now the painting is a production bottleneck. And then we also have to hire the sales guy to make sure that we have enough sales coming in. Hiring an in-house sales rep will allow Eric to do outside dealer training and optimization. And then the spray foam component is sort of separate, but I also need to hire one guy for that. And it feels like I have to hire 3 people for Pineview Buildings all at once to be able to make that leap. We leave out one of those or 2 of those hires and we've got trouble on our hands. And this entire sales cycle, production cycle, delivery cycle needs to go round and round and round, and they're all tied together. So I've been looking to hire a delivery driver, and you'd think that is easy, but it's not. It's difficult to find the right fit in terms of attitude, ability, and experience. One of the things I'm looking for in a hire, I think the first thing would be attitude, and then the second thing is skill set. I would rather take a person that does not have the particular skill set that we're hiring for, but if they have the right attitude, they're coachable, they're willing to learn, they're willing to apply themselves, they're willing to work hard, then I'm happy to work with that. In the case of our driving position, I really would love to have the skills as well, because I don't want to put someone inexperienced on the road hauling wide load sheds. And then also the delivery position needs to have good customer service skill. Several years ago when I was working at a manufacturing shop, I was watching people walk up and down the hallways. Our machine center was set up right beside a major artery in the shop where people walked up and down on. And I'd watch people and I would think to myself, I would love to hire and fire people one day. 3 or 4 years later, and I find myself in that position, and I find that I am terrible at it. I've made hires that I should not have. I've handled conversations and people in ways that prove my inexperience. And so I've been working on improving that, but it's a hard road. For the driving position, we have taken people that have very little experience and they've turned into good drivers, but that's much more difficult if they don't have experience, because then they need to learn a pretty complicated skill set. One of the things I've learned is to not hire a person after just one conversation. If we want a second conversation, we'll reach out to them. But then at least it gives you time to think, gives you time to process, gives you time to evaluate, and you don't have to feel forced to make a call right then and there. Let me tell you a story about that. A young gentleman stopped by. He was looking for work. We had a conversation about work. I was pretty inquisitive and maybe a little bit too direct. I grilled him. I asked him questions about his work ethic, asked him questions about why he wants to work for us, told him about our core values, and I think I was a little bit too intense with him, and I sent him on his way. Reached out to him later that same day saying, please come in for a second conversation. I was ready to hire the guy. I wanted him to have a conversation with someone in our office for a second opinion, and he texted back saying, I decided to stay with my current job. I felt like my intensity had chased him away. But looking back a year later, I'm glad we never brought him on. I also do not think that guy would have been the right fit for the job. I don't think he had the drive and the work ethic that we were looking for. One of the things about making the leap from 3 to 4 million to 5 to 6 million is that it feels a little bit scary. It feels like one of those moments where you decide whether to do it, whether to go for it or not to go for it. Staying at 12 people would be the more comfortable choice. But if we want to grow this thing, not making the leap is really not an option. And so we're looking to make the jump, even if it feels scary. I have heard that once you get to more than 12 people, you need more leadership layers. Not everyone reports to only one leader. And then you have to make sure that everyone is well coordinated, everyone communicates, the systems can support the increase in people. It feels like a step that we haven't had experienced before. But one of the advantages with making that we actually get to experience what it feels like to be, at 15, 16 people, and I'm looking forward to it. I don't think our problems are going to go away. Our business problems and challenges, our people challenges, none of those go away. One of the things I learned at the conference is business leaders that have 100 people on their team and they're dealing with the exact same problems we are. So business is hard, but once you realize that hard is not bad, then you can actually embrace it and say this is okay. The experience and the journey can be a happy journey, can be a happy experience. Recently I read a book by John Gordon, and he was talking about being positive and how that impacts both yourself and the people around you. And that book really had an impact on me, thinking about the fact that business is hard, but you know what? Hard comes with good benefits. I am the guy who has the advantage of being able to observe 11 people all at the same time and having interactions with them one-on-one and getting to know them and learning from them. And not everyone has that vantage point. And I'm super privileged and advantaged, actually. Sure, it comes with its challenges. I'm also the guy that needs to lead them. I need to coach them. I need to help them. I need to be available. So those challenges, you're only a fraction of the time, and other than that, it's a blast. If you're a business owner or a team leader who thinks business is hard, it is. It is. I think all business leaders feel that. But take comfort in the fact that you're not the only one that feels that way, and think about the advantages that you have. Not necessarily the monetary advantages, but the advantages of being able to, see things from a bird's eye view, being able to interact with so many people and learn from everyone. Like, those are true advantages that I think make the difficult leadership journey more enjoyable and make it well worth it. If business is something that interests you, or maybe you are already running a business, feel free to reach out. I would love to connect. I love to connect with other business owners that are experiencing the things we are experiencing. And I just simply want to document my journey so I can look back later, 5 years, 10 years down the road and say, those were actually good days. Thank you for coming along on my walk today. I'll see you in the next video. Anyway, playing around with a small camera is fun. It allows me to be able to capture these moments. It allows me to be able to document the journey without too much trouble.